you get it?
Oh, yes, sorry, yeah, I get it.
Tab of the morning to you, to the...
Tab of the morning, indeed. Too loose, indeed.
The unheralded subs in the Sports Monday section. But they're tab of the morning to you today. Leinster, too loose. Holders brought back down to earth. So this was an amazing game of rugby. I don't know if you obviously didn't get to see any of it, but...
I got a good portion of the second half.
Watching on your phone.
Watched all the highlights.
But it was proper end to end. Anytime the ball would suddenly get squirted out like a greased shit into the hands of one of the opposition, there would be an attempted break from inside their own 22, which would get to the halfway line, and then somebody would knock it on, and suddenly there'd be another opportunity. So that's the headline in the front of the Irish Times Sports Monday. FAO8's report on Mourinho bust up. I mean, nothing's going to happen, right? I mean, he might be punished. Will he be punished?
It's a disgrace if Jose Mourinho is punished.
It is.
It's an absolute disgrace if he's punished for that, because it's... we're going to get into this a little bit later on in a different code, but it's that baiting and that goading of opponents, which, as you know well, is probably my least favourite thing in sport. I absolutely despise it. It makes my blood boil that if I'd seen your man Yanni, or I see a few people referring to him as Laurel online as well, which I found quite amusing, but no, his name is Yanni, and running past Jose Mourinho didn't react. I would have said that's a sackable offence
from Mourinho
to not react, but he did react, and he held up his own pride. Absolute idiot, running in front of him, goading like that. What sort of human being's first reaction is to channel their happiness into a way that incites the opposition into reacting in an angry way? What? I don't get it, because it's so commonplace. I really don't know.
You're not saying this is in any way similar to what Simon Zebo did, are you?
No, not at all.
Okay, no. That's grand.
When I meant on the code, I meant GEA, because there's a lot of goading going on in that. The Zebo thing is very different.
There was a lot of goading going on in the East Kerry Dingle.
Yeah, there was, but as a matter of course, I think it's more of a general thing as well that seems to be going on, baiting the opposition. The Zebo thing is different, in my view. How different is it? I'm not so sure. I think also as well the fact that Simon Zebo kind of apologising afterwards. You've got to kind of take that as well, no?
Oh, yeah, I think he didn't need to apologise. It was a massive hill of beans about nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I think with Zebo there's been a lot of anger because it was Michael Lowry he pointed at. We spoke about Lowry last week. 5'7" guy doing good things on the rugby pitch, making all of us feel a little bit happier about ourselves. He's been probably one of the feel-good stories of the Champions Cup so far, and to see Zebo pointing at him, it was kind of like, oh, don't pick on Michael Lowry sort of thing. And I think that sort of helped fan the flames a little bit around Simon Zebo. I think as well what seemed to fan the flames is the sort of dormant dislike of Simon Zebo, which I kind of forgot existed.
Oh, it's all over the place, yeah.
I completely, if you go back 2 years, it was kind of like peak Zebo as a divisive figure. And I've kind of forgotten about that. I think he, in his closing days in Munster, I think as a nation, we had all been like, yeah, Zebo's great.
It took a while to get there.
Yeah.
So the Examiner is interesting today because this is the front cover of the main Examiner. Tight rain, Toulouse halt Leinster march across Europe, though not for long, says Donal Lenihan. The back page of the Examiner is, I don't know if you can make out this photograph. So can you make that out there? So that is Mayo Secretary Kevin McDonnell giving Carna Cons Cora Staunton her Player of the Match award after the Mayo Senior Football Championship final win over Knockbore yesterday. Remember, they didn't really want her to be playing in this game. If they could just make one thing happen this summer, it'd be not to have the best player in the history of Gaelic football playing for her club in the club championship match after everything happened in summer.
That is an awkward photo, isn't it?
That's brilliant. That's the photograph of the year. That is sports photograph. I'm putting this one straight up there, sports photograph of the year. It is, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, congratulations there, you won the county final. Yeah, good job, yeah. I mean, they're probably going to win the All-Ireland now, are they? Well, I mean, certainly, if ever a club team had a cause that they used to unite themselves, not that they weren't united already, but...
They didn't really need a cause, Carnacon, to be quite honest, particularly when it came to the Mayo Championship.
They're already pretty good, yeah, but they've got one now, so anyway, we'll try and get that picture blown up a little bit bigger for you later on. But I just want to... So, the Examiner, as we know, does the best job of covering the club championships around the country. This is the front of their club section. One to remember, Clonulty Rossmore claimed first tip title in 21 years. Dingle Delight, Gainey on fire, Clifford off in stormy Kerry semi. David Clifford is the most famous young footballer in the country at the moment, and he got sent off yesterday, and his brother got sent off. And amidst some of the most outrageous scenes that we've seen at a club match all year, right? Now, there have been loads of outrageous scenes, but this is the biggest game. It's like the Kerry semi-final it's East Kerry, like the team of superstars, against Dingle, a team of superstars, right?
Yeah.
Both of these teams have a chance of...
Again, he's against David Clifford. Like, it's absolute box office stuff. And it was set up to be, like, I was really excited for the second half. A lot of people, anybody who was watching yesterday, were like, oh, it was over by half-time. Maybe it was, but... Like, as you say, there is sort of a glamour to the Kerry County Championship because of these divisional teams, because of the fact that you mould a lot of potential dormant talent together in East Kerry that can challenge a team like Dingle.
And it's a replay, right?
It's a replay.
So, but I don't know, the fight doesn't really take... The fight is not the main part of the story. It is the main part of the story, right? But
it's interesting. Like, I got a few tweets off people yesterday, like saying, "Put your phone away. Don't be videoing that."
Tout was my favourite.
Tout. Well, I think Tout and the fella, your man from Michael Collins, the informant journalist, was screenshotted and sent to me as well, which I thought was particularly funny. But that was obviously a joke. But like some people,
I mean, I don't think
it was a joke.
I don't think it's not a joke.
No, I think I looked at the. I think
I'd be watching my back next time you go home for a pint.
It was a joke. But there was some people seriously like, "Oh, put your phone away and watch the game," or people being like, "Well, this isn't part of it. There's clearly a rush to actually upload videos and stuff from Gaelic football matches." And it's like, I think there should probably be a rush when this sort of stuff happens in Kerry, because it definitely changes your view when it's your own. Because I was kind of thinking hypothetically, what would happen? Would I be as angry about GAA brawls if it happened to a team that I support? Like, I was there to support East Kerry yesterday, and it turns out that I'm actually more angry because it's one of my teams. It completely, this idea of it destroying a spectacle, I used to think was complete bullshit as a commentator's line, where I say a commentator said about Jose Mourinho on Saturday, well, it's disgraceful scenes, we don't want to see this in the game. And personally, I'm looking at that, I'm like, of course we want to see this in the game, this is amazing. But when it's your own team and when you're there to support them and you're like, you want them to see a comeback, and you see this sort of scene that involves a brawl over by the sideline, it's really, really tough to watch. And it was only yesterday when I kind of realised, it was like, actually, this is the first time I've actually been supporting a team who've been involved in something like this. And it's crap, really. It's not nice. And like, I think that sort of stuff has to be called out.
And shouldn't Dingle and East Kerry be kicked out of next year's championship?
Well, we've been saying it on the show. Like, I would be a hypocrite to say that it shouldn't be. I would be a hypocrite to say that that's not the solution. The thing now is, when I look at it and like being completely partisan, I would make the argument that that is unfair on them because nobody else around the country is being thrown out.
Well, the two teams from Down got thrown out. Well,
that's a good point. Therefore, like, the whole umbrella of the GAA should probably take responsibility and say, well, you should be thrown out. The thing is, yesterday, like, I'm not sure who would have called this out otherwise. Like, the match reports are kind of black and white and say, well, David Clifford got sent off, Buddy Clifford got sent off. There was a bit of a melee.
If footage didn't exist on social media, this would not be a story.
Exactly.
So, now, in fairness, there's a few comments in Mark Murphy's report from the East Kerry manager, Jerry O'Sullivan. Was disappointed the way things turned out in the second half and could barely contain his frustration. Disappointment was my first emotion, because that's not what I envisaged and that's not what would have happened today. I've learned over the years to be diplomatic, and I'm going to be diplomatic now. I don't advocate my teams getting involved with any of the rough stuff. He goes on to say I asked to go out and play. But if you look at the first 3 games East Kerry played this year, there wasn't an incident. I will leave people draw their own conclusions, but I wasn't beating any drum at half-time telling my lads to go out and rough anybody up. Nothing from the Dingle side, nothing from the Dingle management about the involvement of their players and their sideline in the incident. So it'll be interesting to hear from them in the aftermath. But like,
just as a counterpoint to that, like, I have seen some discourse yesterday saying, well, there was a bit of needle last week and there's a bit of needle this week, and who got players sent off this week? East Kerry. So it was clearly East Kerry's fault. So that's the counterpoint to that. Jerry O'Sullivan there speaking after the game. I'm surprised he actually has the ability to speak after the game, because he got sent off yesterday. I'm pretty sure he was just standing by watching the whole thing, and the referees were like, well, there was a guy in a red tracksuit top there. East Kerry and Dingle both have red tracksuit tops that was involved, so both managers get off, you're both being sent off. And I thought it was a bizarre decision, but I would need to see the tape back. The thing is, footage exists of this in far more detail. Dingle play Dr. Crokes in the county final next Sunday. Now, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure Dr. Crokes are one of the best equipped clubs in the country. Would they be filming that in close detail yesterday to get a head start on their opponents? Of course they are. Do they then have the best chance of having exact footage of what happened there yesterday? Of course they do. I would be shocked if exact footage doesn't exist of this instead of my crappy portrait filming. I'm not going to make an Oscar-winning cinematographer, but I'm sure somebody had a camera on a tripod there yesterday filming for their top-class opponents next weekend. But I wouldn't be holding my breath to see that footage come out.
There was tweets Digger sent us this last night after the footage that you'd posted from Paul Brennan, who is works with the Kerryman.
Yeah, sports editor at the Kerryman.
Okay, this is from the first game, from the drawn game. Far too many hangers-on around the sideline, all too keen to pile in when a row starts on the field. That shit needs to be stamped out. One sideline hero was first in about 3 times when something kicked off. Really looking forward to the replay next week, and the final comes the following Sunday. So, exactly, accurately predicted by Paul Brennan what was going to happen. And when you see the footage, I mean, we've got other footage which we'll show you a little bit later on from the near sideline. You can tell that it is a bunch of people in tracksuit tops and management or of that age group who are actually fanning the flames as opposed to coming in and acting peacemaker. All of those people who are not involved in the field of play, who enter the field of play when there's a fight, should be banned for 2 years. The teams should be thrown out from the championship for a year in all grades. And now this has to go to
complication though is throwing East Kerry out of something, which
this has to go to Congress, right?
Yeah, it does.
Like and remove. So we had Jack Anderson on last week, and he was making the point about making this essential decision. Something like this happens, take it out of the local county, because obviously the local county board are going to be like, well, I mean, are we going to piss off the best footballer in the country and everybody who plays with them, and the Gainies and everybody else from these 2 clubs? We're not. You're incapable of doing it. But like, look, it turns out people don't care about this stuff. They don't care about this stuff. The people, the GAA family doesn't give a shit about this, because if they did, they'd be doing something about it.
Yeah, it's true. Like, it also comes back to this conversation that we've been having for months now about the standard of refereeing around these games being absolutely horrendous. To a certain extent, the referees are powerless to do anything in this, but they're not helping themselves when they pluck out one player with the only red card from that brawl afterwards, which again seemed a strange decision. I can't say for sure. Maybe there was a strike from Paulie Clifford in that situation and he deserved to go, but I'm not sure quite how the officials managed to pick one fella out of that. And like, as you say, some of the scenes in the sideline involving management were just appalling.
Leinster pay price for bad habits. Cullen says champions took eye off the ball in 28-27, lots to lose, but vows to bounce back after international break. So the next 2 fixtures for Leinster are obviously the back-to-backs at Christmas against Bath. Maxime Merdard, we were talking about his amazing mutton chops last week, and just how, you know, at the centre of a lot of difficult moments in Irish rugby history, there's Maxime Merdard, just mutton chops.
The thing is, let's call a spade here. I would hate to be, I think being Toulouse coming to Dublin for that rematch in January is probably the least favoured. Like, I would hate to be any other sports team less than that Toulouse team coming to Dublin in January.
I know, it's going to be a great game. They're
going to get pulled apart by Leinster on a revenge mission. It's going to be
but they're Toulouse,
ugly. They're going, like, Leinster are already incredible, but now Leinster, when they're angry, are going to be even more incredible. Although I did find it interesting yesterday, Rhys Ruddock speaking about how Leinster approached the game and how they wanted to get the game more into a uniform state, that when they kicked into the backfield and when chaos erupted, Toulouse just loved that, and they loved throwing the ball around. But I thought Leinster were supposed to be this team that were comfortable in chaos and that were supposed to be...
look at you.
What?
Throwing their own stuff back at them.
Well, no, it's just a curious thing. I thought I would love to have seen this comfort in chaos, because Rhys Ruddock afterwards says they didn't want that chaos.
We got a little bit carried away with ourselves. Complacency cost Leinster as Toulouse sent champions crashing back to earth, and then Castlerahan win first Cavan title. I think is that their first ever for Castlerahan? I hope I'm saying that right. The Katie Taylor stuff was pretty interesting. So Katie Taylor wins every round of 10 rounds, wins 190 on the scorecards. And then afterwards she says that during the fight she can hear her opponent's husband, who is her coach, trash talking Katie Taylor about how, oh, you're fighting the wrong woman, we're going to get you the next time. He also trains Taylor's opponent's sister, who is apparently younger and better. But he's like trash talking Katie Taylor by talking down his wife in the middle of the fight that he's trained her for. I mean, that is some fucked up shit right there. I hope that the wife turns around and goes, "Excuse me, what did I hear you say?" And that I hope that the 2 sisters decide that this guy is not the coach for them, or the person who should be involved in managing their career. But anyway, we'll see.
But keep the marriage going is what you're suggesting.
I mean, I don't. Maybe
it's purely professional.
Maybe some things run their course.
His disrespect of his wife is purely professional. Nothing personal. I just got to make your sister a few bob.
Talk to me now. All right, what do you got?
Got the Daily Mail. hitting back, reads the back of the Irish Daily Mail this morning. Coleman blasts Andrews over his Ireland jibes. And Toulouse blues a reality check, says John Fallon.
Oh, hang on. Two different covers. Two different front covers there. Can we stick up the English one again? So that was the English Mail that we had there. It was Jose's mole hunt. Mourinho investigation into how United lineup was leaked. I mean, shut up, Jose, shut up. It's like you're in the middle of something. So the Irish Daily Mail is obviously a bit different.
Yeah, they've gone for Coleman because,
it's dynamite.
It is dynamite. He's hit back at his former teammate Keith Andrews. Accusing him of trying to make a name for himself, I think, is the line. And he just says it in such a matter-of-fact way. It's like, you got to have respect for Keith Andrews. He's got to make a name for himself. He is a pundit. That's the way punditry works. And it's his honest belief. And, maybe Seamus Coleman one day will be making a name for himself as a pundit as well. And
I'd say Coleman's going to be a manager. He has the bang of a manager, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like somebody who you could really get behind as a manager.
Yeah, he is going to be a manager, isn't he?
Can we get him into the coaching ticket straight away? Player coach?
Player coach, that would be ideal.
Captain, coach, manager?
Does he get paid for that role?
I mean, yeah, come on.
Or does he do it voluntarily? The back page of the Herald is going with the same story. Seamus blasts back. Coleman hits out at Andrews' criticism, while United will be angry for a visit of old boy Ron. So Cristiano Ronaldo back at Old Trafford this week in the Champions League. Back page of the Sun this morning is show him more respect. Sarri's rap for Jose hating fans. And Mart of the Plan. Seamus Coleman has backed Martin O'Neill and told outspoken critic Keith Andrews he is never so hot himself. And you've also got a couple of other stories here. Katie victory, a snore point. Poch in win or bust place. Mauricio Pochettino is urging his Spurs stars to show how much they've grown in their must-win Champions League showdown at PSV Eindhoven. And bridge rock blow for United. And Jose Mourinho sweating after a potential FA charge after his reaction on Saturday. Does Jose Mourinho automatically deserve to get suspended, judging by the book, leaving his technical area?
He didn't get that far. He gets down the tunnel. I mean, the game's not over. I mean, maybe. I'm sure there are 1,000 different ways to prosecute managers after a game if you want to. You can find in the rule book whatever you want, but they should let that go and say, right, look.
Did Alan Pardew ever get suspended for goading an opposition manager? I'm talking about Yanni here in this situation, who I presume will get banned because he clearly left his technical area. And I think that should be the first course of action to try and get him suspended, but I don't know. Poor Jose is what I'm trying to say. Back of the Irish Daily Star is appalling. The headline is appalling. The back of the Irish Daily Star is quite good.
Fair play to them, yeah.
Physio calls violent scenes a disgrace. Clifford sees red in heated Kerry Senior Football Championship clash. Jose may face a ban is also a story here in the back page of the Irish Daily Star. And Celtic Tiger, Conor McGregor has called on Katie's handlers to make her the wealthiest female star in combat sports. And Coleman hits back is the other story there.
DAZN.
Yeah.
That's how we're saying it.
Yeah, that is the correct pronunciation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really. It's
DAZN. DAZN.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. All right, but okay, so it's DAZN with the short initials DAZN because, people can't spell these days. But anyway, they're talking her up. They're saying that she's going to be part of this massive $1 billion deal that has been done, that she's going to make loads of money. She might have to fight for another 10 years, but she's going to make loads of money.
Yeah, the thing is, I wonder, does DAZN turn her into the trash talker? Is there a stipulation where it's Katie Taylor, you got to understand the fight game a little bit more? Whereas I think she's carved out a perfect niche for herself by not being the loudmouth, brash boxing figurehead. In the 7th round, I think it was yesterday, she kind of dropped her hands. Didn't seem Katie Taylor to me.
Oh, come on, who cares? And it's absolutely Katie Taylor. It's I'm boxing the head off you here. Come and have a fight with me. It's absolutely the right thing for her to do at that point. And afterwards, people are like, "Oh, you can't be doing that now, Jesus."
I'm not.
Jesus, now who? Oh, Jesus.
I'm not pontificating about it. I'm just saying that just doesn't seem like her character. I haven't really seen her do that.
I think she's done it before. Actually, I could be corrected on that, but I'm not surprised. Give us more, Katie. Absolutely, go for it. That's what I'm saying. Simon Zebo, yeah, go on. Point out the fact that you're about to. Go on.
Can't do that in rugby, though.
Well, apparently you can't, because the referee calls you out on it.
Yeah, there was...
It makes it all about him.
Well, the thing is, Nigel Owens, of course, didn't know he was wearing a microphone as he was correcting Simon Zebo. He was doing it for the good of the game. Back page of the Mirror is Seamus returns, then hits back at Andrews. and it's too bad. Toulouse 28, Leinster 27 in the Champions Cup yesterday, and a couple of the UK back pages this morning. It's all about Formula 1 at the moment. Chasing the party, Hamilton forced to wait for his 5th Formula 1 world title after Raikkonen snatches his first Grand Prix win in over 5 years. It's a matter of time really for Lewis Hamilton to win his 5th championship.
Kimi Raikkonen about 600 years old.
I would say he's getting on a bit, certainly moving into his 6th century at this point. Champagne on ice for British ace after Raikkonen wins in Austin, says the back of the Guardian then. And new spot fixing claims, England cricketers alleged to be involved in betting scams.